Hello everyone, welcome to AMRL Season 2 Round 9. We're in Poland, Białowieża, with the feature qualifying results, with Fede on pole, with Simmerbob in second, Rondo in third, Toaster in fourth, championship leader, Frutuke in fifth, Juanvi in sixth, we have Sunfix in seventh, Chichio Burger in eighth, we have Flak in ninth, we have JX in the Aston in 10th, Vinny in 11th, Mercedes in 12th, Glow in 13th, Oski in 14th, and Mezeo rounds up the grid in 15th. Gonna move on to the sprint race with Fede on, no, not with Fede on pole, with Mezeo on pole, Oski in second, and Glow in third. So we're gonna have the 5 red lights out and away we go. Mezeo keeps the lead from Oski, as in the back we see Mercedes defending in P4 as Glow makes a move on Oski into P2, trying to make a move on the inside for P1, and Mercedes goes around the outside to take P1. Beautiful move by him. Mezihal goes a bit wide. Now Glow try and go around the outside in the hairpin, which now turns into the inside with a lot of hairpins on this circuit. So Mezihal gets up into second. He makes a little mistake there. Glow gets past into second and Juanvi follows him into P3. Now there's a lot of people going side by side. Juanvi takes second off Glow. Now Mezeo and Chichio trying to get in the mix. Chichio goes all the way around the outside and he takes the place of Glow. Now Mezeo in back in third. Trying to make a move on Juanvi, but it doesn't work. No, it doesn't. So Glow goes a bit wide there. Now Chichio goes past Mezeo, but they both will go into the grass, which means Sunfix is now up into P3, and now JX is coming into P5. Now they're going 4 wide here, and Chichio goes into the wall. It's not gonna work 4 wide there. It's Glow and Mezeo get caught up with each other a bit, and now JX is up into P4. Toaster with a lovely switchback there. Now Rondo's trying to overtake Mezeo. It's not a good start for him. Already down to 6 places. He's now in the lead is Mercedes from Juanvi from Sunfix. Top 3 has pulled away a bit. It's now Toaster's trying to make a move on JX. It doesn't work quite. Now Toaster goes for the move from JX as rain is coming to Poland. As here we see Chicho around the outside fighting with Mezeo again and again going into the grass. Vinny with a not nice rejoin there. Juanvi goes down the inside of Mercedes, not working. Oh, Mercedes makes a little mistake. Juanvi can go around the outside and now all into the pits they go for the wet tires. They're already gonna go on the wet tires. Juanvi is. As is most people. Toaster on the inters, Jakes on the inters. A lot of people on the inters actually. As Juanvi takes the lead. And now Mercedes goes down the inside to take back that lead. Now they're side by side for the lead. Can Sunfix maybe get in the mix? 3 wide here, around the outside he goes. Doesn't work. Juanvi takes the lead of a sprint. It's now Toaster has caught up with the top 3. And now goes down the inside of Sunfix, trying to go around the outside of his teammate. And it works. And now Juanvi with a quite good lead as JX goes up into third. And then they're still fighting in slipstream as Prestas goes on the grass. Toaster in second, Sunfix in third. Toaster makes a mistake there. Sunfix now in the inside, but now JX also dives up into P2. Good move by him. Toaster now trying to secure that P3 spot with Sunfix. As Rondo is closing up the gap. Sunfix makes a mistake, Toaster gets caught up, and Rondo goes past both of them to make a P3, but now they're going 3 wide. Sunfix has to back out, Toaster is on the grass, and Rondo up into P3. They're squabbling a lot here. Sunfix trying to make a move around the outside. Long line, it's not gonna work. Stoser's trying to fight with Rondo here for the last podium spot. Trying to get in the slipstream, get a good exit out of this last corner. Can he get past? He moves his car on the outside. He goes on the outside, but he gets pushed wide by both Sunfix and Rondo. And now he's back in P5. Svetty makes a move there and brushes it into P7. He needs to get a good result for his championship. Stoser also needs to do that, but he gets pushed wide by Bob. And all the way down to P9 he goes, as JX has taken the lead from Hornby, and he's gonna probably win this sprint race. As he goes round the final corner, and JX wins in Poland the sprint race in the wet. Hornby takes second place, Rondo comes in third, Simulab in fourth, Fetty in fifth, Toaster in sixth, Sunfix in seventh. We have Brasidas in eighth, Virtuke in ninth, Chichio in 10th. A good result for Toaster, getting the points he needs to defend his championship gap as much as possible. Fede trying to close that gap. With a win here for him today, he could close the gap. We have Glow in 11th, Vinny in 12th, Oski 13th, Mezihal all the way down in 14th after a pole position start, and Fleck in last place. I'm gonna move on to the feature race. As it's raining here in Poland at the start of the race. Fede on pole with Simon beside him. He goes in the inner, just lights out, and away we go with a good start from Fede. Stoser also has a good start, goes past Rondo as well. Good for him. As he tries to go for a move on Simon, but around the outside he goes, leaving a space. Now Zanfix over to P3 again. Toaster on his inside. As Fede already has a huge gap in front, already a second. That's good for him if he wants to close this championship gap to Toaster. Sunfix trying to make a move on Simmerbob, and it works. Toaster follows him. Toaster trying to make a move for P2 and Sunfix. Doesn't want to get Fede get away so much as possible. As he goes with a great move there on Sunfix. And now Simmerbob follows him into P3. Fede already 2.3 second gap. That's amazing. As the rain is hitting the track again, as Brasidas goes around the outside with Chicho Burger over to P4, good move by him. Stoser goes wide, he goes wide. And he makes a mistake, and he's out of the race. Toaster DNFs, that's huge for the championship. Now Fede in P1 can close the gap and maybe go in front of Toaster into the championship lead. This is huge for the championship. He already has a 2.7 gap lead, now 3 seconds. He already has this in the bag. In the back we see a little fighting, Chicho going wide there, Peto DNFing from the race. So Bob is in second, Brasidas in third. 3 second gap after 3 laps. It's so important for the championship. It's a crucial race for Fede right now. Can the pressure get to him, or does he stay calm and just drives this race home? As Sunfix has passed Brasidas for P3, as Brasidas goes round down the inside. Great move. Sunfix goes around the outside and lifting Brasidas on the straight. Trying to go around the outside. Good space left between the two of them. Nice racing. Sunfix now has the inside line. Brasidas tries to stick around the outside, which turns into the inside for this corner and gets past. And Chichio gets past Sunfix as well. Trying to get a podium here. Chicho trying to make a move as Sunfix makes a mistake. And now Juanvi can maybe get a gap close. As Chicho misses the pit entry, trying to go on the dry tires, but he misses the pit entry completely, and now is on the inters on a dry track. And Fede already has pitted in front of him onto the softs. Signal up also on the softs. Breathless on the mediums. JX also on the mediums. Aussie on the hards. Can you track the race out on the hards? I don't think so. Signal up here behind Chicho. Chicho's struggling on the inters. He has to pit right now. He does. Juanvi makes a little mistake. Now Sunfix is trying to get past. It's for a podium spot. P3. His gap is 5 seconds to Signal Bob. Sunfix goes a little wide there, which opens the gap. And JX starting to close that gap to Sunfix. So Oski and Chicho fighting, and Fruitoke goes down the inside of Rondo. Good move by him. Open to P8. The gap to P10 is 6.5 seconds. Fede still cruising in the lead, 2 second gap of Signal Bob. Signal Bob is getting the gap down a little bit though. As JX goes down the inside of Sunfix. And there's rain hitting the track again. Sunfix get a little push right there on the grass. Not good for him. So everyone is going into the pits for wets. Or inters. Quality on the inters. JX on the inters. Sunfix on the hards. As now the rain hits the track and Fede makes a mistake. Now Signal Bob can close all the way the 2 second gap to Fede. And now Fede has almost lost his whole gap he had at the beginning of the race now. They're gonna have to survive. They have a 10 second gap though to 1v. Then the gap is gonna come down quickly. Signal Bob makes a little mistake there. Fede keeping it clean-ish on the dry tires. As far as that works. Does he come out ahead of 1v though? He's gonna be close. Fede is coming ahead into P1 and 1v takes P2 with a great call there from him, and he's back in the race, back in the conversation for the victory. Signal makes a mistake there, and now JX goes up into P3. Not good for him. And first podium chances. Sunfix there goes in the grass, and Chicho gets past. Chicho now going down the inside again of Sunfix. Great battle. As Brazil does DNFs from the race, a double Achuria DNF. 0 points for them. Sunfix and Chicho still going at it. Now Sunfix takes the place back into P5. Now the track is gonna be drying. The sun is coming out, but the track is still fully wet. Chicho goes for a move down the inside of Sunfix. And that works. Good move by him. Open to P5. It's Oski and Fruitoke now battling with each other. Pushing all the way to the wall there. Very aggressive but fair racing as they both go off. Oski goes off more than Fruitoke though, so he gets past him into P7. Chicho and Sunfix still going at it. Good battle with the pair of them. As Alonso 33 left the game, he's not reversing. Sunfix goes on the outside of Chicho. Chicho defends the inside. That line is better, but now Sunfix with a switchback. Now he's on his outside. Is it gonna work? Chicho leaves the space. Well done by them. And Sunfix gets up into 5th. As the rain is hitting the track again and again and again here in Poland. Chichio's now in the slipstream on Sandvix again. Sandvix moves all the way to the inside. Leaves enough space though. Now Chichio on the inside again and again gets past. So now it seems like they're closing up the Sigma Bob a bit, as he maybe made a mistake. Sandvix now makes a little mistake on the grass, and maybe Chichio now finally gets a gap to him, but he doesn't because he makes a mistake himself. Sandvix on the inside. Chichio trying to make a switchback, but it doesn't work. As Fede in the lead with a 1.3 second gap on Juan V. He's still in the lead, so he's handling the pressure quite well. JX having a good weekend, cruising in third right now, trying to secure his podium spot, double podium. Would it be for him for winning in the sprint race? Singapore is trying to chase him down though for the podium. As Sandvix now has a little gap to Chichio out of the slipstream. As Oski comes in for another set of inters, I guess. Will that work out for him? As the track is right now dry, but you never know what's gonna happen. It could be a good call for him. It also could be a worse call for him. Yeah. But yeah, he has nothing to lose. He's 30 seconds in front of P10. As now sun is coming to the track, so it's not looking that good for Oski. And is somebody gonna come in for soft tires, for dry tires, or are they gonna stick it out on the wet tires? Fede cruising here in the lead with a 3 second gap of 1V. A very championship drive by him. Single is catching JX, I think. Gap is now 1.6. So 1V is starting to secure his P2 spot here. And now he's gonna stick it out on the wet tires for the last 2 laps. He's 4.7 seconds in front of 1V. So Rondo is also gonna stay out on the inters. Futuke has paid for the soft toe, so can he catch Rondo in time before the race ends? So Oski's strategy did not work out. As Mezael and Vinny are fighting for P10 right here. So Vinny goes around the outside, which turns into the inside. Good racing. And he's up into P10. Svede goes onto the last lap on the wet tires, trying to keep it as clean as possible. And try not to make many mistakes on the grass or on the wall. He's taking it very safe. Very good by him. As APA is gonna win this constructor's title as it stands if Fede wins. As Arturia has a double DNF and only has scored 4 points in the sprint. And Fede now is gonna come to win Poland and get APA the Constructors Championship, and he himself takes the lead of the Drivers Championship as Simmerwab edges out JX into third, gets his podium, and Juan V in second. Chichio Berger in 5th, Sandvix in 6th, and Futurki has overtaken Rondo in 7th. So Rondo in 8th, Oski in 9th, Mezael in 10th, Vinny in 11th, and and Brasidas, Toaster, Flak, and someone else DNF. Glow, I think. Yeah, Glow DNF. As APA win the Constructors title, Fede takes the lead of the championship with 8 points by Toaster, so that's all to play for in the last race of the season in Singapore. Yeah, that's quite it. Here we have Vinny, P11, Brasidas, Glow, Flak, and Toaster DNFing. And APA takes the Constructors Championship, and Fede has a 8-point deficit or lead, championship lead to Toaster. Thank you all for watching, and see you next week.